The August dress is the 11th dress. I feel like the August dress kind of had a mind of its own. There's not a holiday, so I knew I wanted the theme of August to be the August heat and earthy vibes and the desert and kind of all the colors of the desert. That's kind of what went through my head. For a long time, I wanted a turquoise dress. I thought, okay, it'll be like, the dress will be like turquoise in the desert. I couldn't find anything that I liked in turquoise. It was a tough color to find. And the more I thought about it, I just didn't want to be wearing a turquoise dress. I wanted to wear turquoise jewelry. I thought maybe I'll do a sand color, like the color of sand. And so I was looking for like nude colors or beige or maybe like a burnt orange or something like that. So I'm gonna keep looking, but I like this. Yeah, that color's so pretty. The fringe could have worked, but then I didn't love it. But I kept thinking, when I see it, I know, and hopefully it just speaks to me. Hopefully it just pops out at me. And that's exactly what happened. We were looking through, and then this chartreuse color just popped. Okay, I found this. I'm obsessed with it. I love this. So I picture this as moves like sand along sand dunes. It looks awesome with turquoise. I could do a really cool flowy, maybe asymmetrical dress. I just think this is so pretty. It's very earthy, and I think it would look really, really cool in sand. And I pulled it out and it was silk, and I never really thought a silk dress, but it had this texture. It was this textured silk, and I held it up. I ran over to the window at the front of Mood, and I held it up in front of the window, and when the light hit this color, it was amazing. It looked like little tiny sand dunes, and it rippled and caught the light beautifully, and I started draping a mannequin with it. I gotta see what it looks like, and I loved it. And I thought, chartreuse, that's like cactus and greenery, it's earthy. That color works. So we got it. Usually Garrett is like on board. With this one, I don't think he was quite as much, right? I don't think he caught my vision quite as
So I would have to agree. When she showed me this color, first of all, I don't know if I believe in chartreuse. I don't know if that's a real color. And she initially talked about it being a kimono.
a caftan.
Oh, a caftan. But I was pretty sure she would change her mind. Yeah.
It's like, you might not like it. I'm still gonna do it.
This dress shows, as much as any other dress, Leanne's artistic abilities. I think it's really impressive. So, you know.
In the end, chartreuse was a good pick.
I don't know if that's even a real thing.
It is.
She makes up colors.
Well, I didn't start August right away, and partially because I needed a break, partially because I wasn't totally sure what kind of dress I was gonna make. And I thought, let's just keep this simple. So as far as the dress silhouette goes, I looked through Pinterest. I looked through Pinterest to get a lot of inspiration. I looked through a lot of my favorite designers just for inspiration on silhouette or what I should do for the dress. And I was looking through a couple different desert shoots, and there were these beautiful dresses flowing and blowing in the wind, which I knew we would have the wind in the desert. And I thought, what about just a caftan, just a simple straight caftan, nothing super fitted, because the wind would kind of move the dress around. But I didn't want the skirt to be huge, so I just kept it pretty straight. The sleeves, I had originally cut these long, wide caftan sleeves. All right, I am currently in my living room cutting the August dress. Here's the beautiful fabric. I have that cut first and chopping it up. It's gonna be a really pretty caftan. And I cut them out and I pinned them on my mannequin, but kind of like a few of my ideas beforehand with the dress, it didn't really sit well, it didn't really feel right. I think that I would have looked like I was too swallowed up in the fabric, And then Jill said, what about this? And she sent me over a picture of this gorgeous Ellie Saab dress. And it was more of a gown, it wasn't a caftan, but it had these really regal long sleeves that were, it was just attached to the top and flowed all the way down. And if I did these long, flowing, almost cape-like sleeves, I would have something to hold on to and to move around and to blow, to catch the wind. And I thought, that's it, that's perfect. Luckily, like all of the dresses, I had just enough fabric left to scrap the caftan sleeves and make these super long, flowing cape sleeves. Sewing on 100% silk is also very difficult. I had to have the right needle, I had to have the right stitch length and the right tension, and I tested, you know, scraps of fabric over and over before I actually sewed on the real dress, because if the tension is wrong, the fabric will pucker and bunch up and will not lay perfectly flat like it should. So that was really tricky.
You can see all the stitching. I stitched this thing pretty dang spot on. I'm gonna flip it around so you can see the front. I flipped it over, so this is what it looks like from the front. It has this really beautiful V that lays flat on the body, and this is all stitched clean together. I matched up the top piece with the bottom piece with the seam in the middle. So it comes down here and then it splits. It's a nice clean flat split for the front slit right in the middle. I haven't done a front slit before, so it took a little bit of figuring out, but I think it'll look really pretty on. I also wanted the top bodice to lay flat, and then I wanted the skirt section to gather just a little bit, so I cut this piece a little bit wider. And then here are the side triangle panels that I added in here and here, just to give the skirt a little bit more fullness when it's on.
The fabric also wrinkled really easily, so I was constantly steaming and pressing silk is also scary. So it was really delicate. If the dress is gonna be simple, let's really zhuzh up the hair and the makeup and the turquoise. I felt like the August dress was the perfect excuse to just cover myself in turquoise jewelry, and I worked with St. Eve Jewelry, a really awesome turquoise company, and they sent over beautiful, beautiful, real vintage turquoise pieces to wear with the dress. I had this gorgeous squash blossom necklace.
Okay, I just got like 3 packages in the mail with all of the turquoise that I'm gonna wear for the shoot. So it's perfect timing because I can like hold it up to see what pieces will look good. I don't really know how this is possible, but I just stitched the last stitch on the dress, and look at my thread. I only bought one of these, and like this is it. It's meant to be. I guess I'm done with the dress.
This dress was the most mentally draining for me. And I think this dress is where I kind of reached my breaking point. But I did focus a lot on my hair and my makeup, and that made it more exciting. I hired a makeup artist, Kendall, to come do my makeup. I wanted drama. I wanted this to be kind of like my alter ego. I actually didn't think of that until after when I saw pictures, but I wanted really dark eyes. I even had her do a little line of turquoise underneath my eyes, and I wanted the eyes to pop on camera and to be this sort of fierce. I mean, if you could put heat and desert sun into a dress and into a person, they would have this dramatic eye. So I thought, well, I'm in the desert, let's do more of a natural air-dried hair kind of look, but I want a little bit of, I still want it fierce. So I did little twists all the way back, and I attached some really cool gold jewelry, and then I just amped up the volume on the full other side of my hair. And it played really nicely with the makeup and with the jewelry and with the dress. And it wasn't until I had the hair and the makeup totally done that I kind of caught the vision and I started to get excited. So Jordan, Jill, and I drove out to the desert for this shoot. And Jordan is so good at shooting in the desert. That's her jam. She captures the desert beautifully. And I was so excited. And she knew months ago that August would be shot in the desert. And I said, August is all you. You tell me the location, you know, let's really pull from your expertise here. So she was really excited, and we got out to the desert and we found the most gorgeous desert setting. It had Joshua trees, it was dry, it had elements of sand, and it also had elements where the ground was like cracked and super hot. And I feel like we underestimate how beautiful the desert is. The mountains were just amazing. I found this cave at one point that I scaled up the side of this mountain and crawled inside this cave. And it was so windy, but once I was in the cave, it was completely still and completely quiet. And it was so cool.
Okay, we found this tiny little cave, and I'm crouched in my dress with my girls shooting, and it's dead quiet in here.
At one point I was standing on a cliff in heels, and it was crazy windy. There was a lot going on because I had to make sure I was holding my sleeves and my slit wasn't being all funky and I wasn't showing the seam, so I had a lot going in my hair. My hair kept blowing over and blowing over, but the craziness of the wind and the elements in the desert added to the photos, and it really brought that dress to life. And it actually wasn't too bad. It was 100 degrees, but it was dry heat, so I wasn't super sweaty. And it was windy, so windy. Shooting that dress, being in the desert with the hair and the makeup, and seeing the dress in the environment of the desert was when it all clicked for me. It's clicked much earlier other dresses, but this one, it all came together during the shoot.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's on your camera, not edited. Oh my gosh!
Isn't it so
that's
cool?
It.
I did not expect the August images to be as cool as they were. I didn't even really know what I looked like out in the desert. I knew that I looked different and I had all this makeup on, but once Jordan showed me what the pictures looked like, I was like, that's it. That's what I had in my head, and I didn't realize it until the images really popped. But one thing that's been really cool about this monthly dress series is I've been able to connect with you. I've been able to talk to you guys through direct message or through different comments or questions or messages. And I had one reader tell me about how her mom was sick in the hospital a few months ago, and she visited her mom and showed her I think it was my July dress, and then walked through all of the previous dresses up until July. And she said they were able to really bond and enjoy the dresses together. Her mother used to sew her dresses growing up, so they talked about all of those fun memories of her mom sewing for her. And I thought that was really cool, such a special connection to hear about. And the day after kind of my breakdown of what in the world am I doing, why am I doing this, she DM'd me and she said that her mom had passed away the day before. And she said on August 1st, her mom said, it's a new month, it's August, it's a new monthly dress. Let's watch for the new monthly dress. And I thought that was just so touching. You know, I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna get it wrong. It was just so incredibly special. On August 1st, she woke up for a bit and we had some alone time together. She said, it's August, time for the next monthly dress release. Let's watch for it today. And then later she woke up and told me to remember to always dream big and never forget how strong I am, just like Leanne did with her dresses. So even though she didn't get to see the August dress, she was sure dreaming about it. And that's why I'm doing these dresses. I'm just amazed at the real connection that I've been able to make with a lot of you, and this touched me so deeply, and it was just so special, and I'm so grateful that she shared it with me, and it really gave me that drive to finish this dress and to make the August dress something special. And the August dress is definitely something special.